What's up, guys, and welcome to a new review of a game that came out last week. And this game has gotten a lot of bad reviews, so I'm going to take this time out to give my honest review of the game. And that game is none other than Resident Evil 6. Now, Resident Evil 6 came out again last week, and before it came out, it started getting so many bad reviews of the reviewers that are only thinking about the past. They keep going to the past on this game, like Resident Evil 1 through 3. I think that's when those were the main survival horror Resident Evils. 4 was horror, but it was not as much, and 5 just quit the whole horror scenario. So they're going based off that, and it really pisses me off because this game is excellent. I beat it, all 4 campaigns. I did everything you can do in this game, and I loved it. I've beaten Leon's twice, the one that I played for YouTube, and I beat it again after that. I'm playing Chris's again. I beat that one already. I beat Jake's and Ada's, and I gotta say, I enjoyed all of them from start to finish. I don't know what the reviewers are talking about. And the thing about it is, they all have something different to say. Like IGN said that whatever the game's doing is not consistent. Some people saying that it has too many quick time events. Yes, the quick time events are plentiful, but the thing about it's supposed to increase the tension and the sense of urgency. That's what it does. Like the part where where that green guy in China, he was gonna kill Leon, and sadly he killed me by putting me into that meat grinder, and he jumped in there with me. Well, that's what it does. I think you have to mash X or square to get him off you, and then press R1 to get from in front of him. This is just to add tension, but people don't understand that. A few things before this game came out that I didn't like it too much is the fans. The fans also said, "Oh, it's not the survival horror game we played in I think 1996 or something like that." I think that's when the first one came out. I don't know. But the thing about it is, they did it. They had to do that for a lot of games. They had to do it for this one. They had to do it for Splinter Cell, Blacklist, which I will also be picking that up. Devil May Cry, which I will also be picking that up. And Dead Space 3, which I will also be picking that up. 4 games that the developer and producer had to go out of their way just to show people that it's the same game. Oh, Dead Space 3 doesn't have horror in it. It's going into the Resident Evil route. They had to bring out a trailer just to show that it's still the horror game. Oh, Splinter Cell, Blacklist is not the same Splinter Cell. They had to bring out the same gameplay trailer where they ran through and showed how Sam was the leader of the 4th echelon in a stealth form. Oh, DMC is just a different game. It's not the game that we used to have. So they had to go and show that it was the same game. Oh, what was the other one? Resident Evil. They had to bring out Leon's campaign to show that it wasn't completely action. So enough about that. Let's talk about the game. The game takes place in late 2012 to, like, I think the middle of 2013, and it has 4 scenarios. Leon's is the survival horror thing. zombies. Except the C virus makes the zombies more, I don't know, intelligent, where they can actually hold weapons instead of being the Las Plagas, where they were actually humans that were infected. These are zombies that are holding weapons. And of course, it was my first day playthrough, so there were some issues, like with the final boss. He kept killing me because I didn't know what to do. But when I figured it out, it was just a piece of cake. Delicious piece of cake that was fun to eat and fun to watch because it had a lot of good looking icing on it. I'm talking about graphics. The graphics in the game were excellent. I enjoyed the scenery, going to all the places, just looking around. People say it looks like it doesn't look too much like from Resident Evil 5. I beg to differ. Of course, there were a little I kind of just woke up because I'm off today. It's my fair day, and I said fuck the fair. I'm gonna just sleep in. Of course, there were compared, a few scenes were compared to Resident Evil 5, but mainly this is not Resident Evil 5. The game doesn't look like Resident Evil 5. And like I said, when people dog Resident Evil 5, they just say so much negative shit about Resident Evil 5. Funny thing about it, like I said, I actually enjoyed Resident Evil 5. Playing it from start to finish, just like this game. Playing it from start to finish, I enjoyed it. So Chris's campaign is the more war-oriented campaign. It has a feel of war. There's no zombies. There's no slow pace feel to it. You have to be fast to play through this campaign, because you can't just walk past the Jawavo, because they're not as deaf as the zombies. They actually engage you, and the Jawavo have the C virus, which lets them mutate their body parts depending on what you shoot off. If you shoot off their arms, they can make it into either a long range arm where it can actually lunge and yank you out of cover, or it can turn into a shield. And the cool thing about it that I saw, one actually had both. One arm was a shield and one was a long range. He used a long range, yanked me out of cover, and then slammed the shield on me. I was tripping out after that, because that was awesome. I died, but that was awesome. That was the first time I ever saw that. So, and there were some issues with the final boss on that playthrough too, because at the end of the game, Piers, I don't want to spoil anything, but Piers went through a change, and the final boss, he was the one that could mainly kill him. I'll leave it at that. Jake's campaign is basically they use that campaign as a newcomer campaign. If you're new to Resident Evil, you don't know any of these characters, well, get to know Jake first. That's what they're doing. Jake's has this nemesis-like monster. I've never played Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. So, as I said, I've started on Resident Evil 4, so that's probably why I like this game so much. But Nemesis was in Resident Evil 3? I think it was 3. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I never played those. So Nemesis was this big monster who was near indestructible, and he had different weapons. He was actually in Operation Raccoon City too. I do actually have that. I might play it, I might not, if I'm up to it, or I might jump back on these campaigns. We'll see. But I'm low on batteries because I'm using my second to the last set right now because my other ones died. So Ustanak is the Nemesis like monster, and he has all these different arm attachments. He has one that's like 3 drills, one that's like a claw, one that's like a shotgun or a missile launcher, and one that I don't know if it's one that as soon as he grabs you, it turns into like all these needles and then they stab you. But he's so cool because of those attachments. It's just not him running around with one attachment doing the same shit. So that's pretty cool. Capcom really thought that out. I like that. And so basically, and it introduced you to play as Sherry Birkin, which was in Resident Evil 2. She works for the United States Secret Service, I think. She's a protective detail. So she kind of works with Leon and Helena. Like she works in the same little, I guess, well, not an organization, but she works with them in a different field. And Ada's campaign is the single player campaign. Ada's campaign, the first part of it, I really didn't understand because it was the stealth. You shouldn't have got. You tried not to get caught, but I failed miserably like 5 times, so I just ran through it, and that was easier than not getting caught. You can do it. I'm sure you can do it without getting caught, but I mean, it's just quicker not doing it. I'll probably try it on a later date. They did say there was some DLC coming out where Ada actually has a co-op partner, and they're making a no hope difficulty. I'm hoping that brings out some more trophies. Maybe beat the whole game on no hope. It's just gonna be hard as hell, but I'm gonna try it because I beat Uncharted 3, 2, and 1 on crushing. And in my opinion, Uncharted 1 was the hardest one on crushing, so I'm not going to go into that. That's a different game. Then Ada's campaign is basically the filler. Everything that was in Resident Evil 6 that you didn't know where did something come from, like that chainsaw monster. He just dropped off of a train, fell out of the sky, and now you have to fight him as Sherry and Jake. But Ada's campaign actually shows where he came from, how did he get on that train, and I don't think it shows why he's so pissed. Yeah, he's very pissed. He's a very pissed off monster. It doesn't show that, but it basically shows everything that happened, why it happened. So if you see some things when you play it, like when I played through all the campaigns in Ada's like you're supposed to, and it showed basically everything that it didn't show in the 3 campaigns. So on to the new Agent Hunt mode. Agent Hunt, I played through it, but I got frustrated with it. When I played Agent Hunt, I went into it as one of those birds, you know, the bird Joavo that has like I was about to say it can fly. Of course it can fly. But it has like it's like a crow, and it had spikes or something on his chest, and they could grab you. I played as that. I got killed so many times playing as that fucking bird. I just gave up. I said I don't care anymore. It's not a. I appreciate Capcom's attempt to make a multiplayer, and they try to make a different multiplayer instead of the usual team deathmatch type multiplayer. So I appreciate that, but I'm not really too sure if it works well right now. Maybe you just need to play as a different Jawavo, because you know on those trailers they always show how good it looks, but as soon as you play it, doesn't look that good. Again, I appreciate it, but it doesn't really work too well. The control, I had such a hard time trying to kill one person. I wasn't even trying to go into both of them. I was trying to go into one of them, and it was so hard to get them. So yeah, that's Agent Hunt. I don't know how. I think it just throws you into the game. You can't play like which campaign or where in the campaign, you know, that type of stuff, or what Jawavo you want to play as. You can't do that, but you can. It'll throw you into a. I'm trying to scratch my nose while I hold the camera too. That's why. I got two arms, but I don't feel like switching. What was I saying? Oh yeah, you can. It just throws you into a campaign. It's not the best, but again, I appreciate it. Last but not least is the Mercenaries mode. By the way, this Resident Evil has the most content than all the other Resident Evils. Like Resident Evil 4 started Mercenaries mode. All it had was play through the story, play Mercenaries mode. Resident Evil 5, play through the story, play Mercenaries mode. Resident Evil 6, play through all the campaigns, 4 campaigns. You don't have to do it, but play through all the campaigns, Agent Hunt, and Mercenaries mode. That's 6 things you can do. And to all those people who say they don't want to buy the game because it sucks or it's too action oriented, just play Leon's campaign. That's it. You don't have to play Chris's, Jake's, Ada's. You don't have to play any of them. Just play Leon's campaign. Shut the fuck up. Next, I was still in Mercenaries mode. Mercenaries mode is still the usual Mercenaries mode. You kill as many as you can while trying to get the while in the given time. I just hurt myself too. In the given time, it's my accent. In the given time, and if you can't, then well, you kill as many as you can. You can find more time. I just hate saying time now. You can find more time and continue your rampage on the Jawavo or the zombies. And I think it's similar where they have special bosses come out and you have to kill them. Now, I've never gotten that far into it, but if Usanek hits that corner, I'm done. I'll continue playing Mercenaries mode. I might play it next week because I'm off of school early for my birthday, which is the 19th of next week, Friday. So that's good. I get off on my birthday early. So I might play Mercenaries. I might play it all the way up until then so I can get better at it. So that's really it for Resident Evil 6. This is a fantastic game. I don't know what everyone's talking about. They need to leave the past in the past, because if you keep making games with dark corridors, it's going to seem like you're playing the same game. You have to change for these consoles. You don't want to seem like you're playing Resident Evil 1 on a PlayStation 3 when Dead Space 1 has dark corridors and jump scares, just like Resident Evil 1 did. So, like I said, fantastic game. it's worth the $60. I actually pre-ordered it, so $65. Which 65 is just for Capcom's extra income. It's just more money for your paycheck type shit. But it's worth the money. You get 6 things to do. The replayability is fun. I really think the replayability is fun. It's a good form of replayability, because I'm already playing through Chris's again with my cousin for the second time. I played Leon's for the second time. I will play Jake's for a second time and Ada's for a second time. So that is it. Resident Evil 6 in my book gets a 10 for the content, playability, and just how much I love it. I don't go based off of the past. I go based off of, is this the same game, or does it play the same as like Resident Evil 5? Because I love the way Resident Evil 5 played. I love the way Resident Evil 4 played. But the best thing about that is you can walk and shoot. That should have been in the first game, but I'm pretty sure there was a reason why they didn't put that in there. So Resident Evil 6 gets a 10 in my book, and that's only my opinion. Some people think it's worth an 8. Some people think it's worth a 6. Some people think it's worth a 9. Some people think it's worth a 7.9, which is stupid. When I'm not going off on IGN, so yeah, I am. But I'm not going to be like, oh, Resident Evil 6 deserves a 10. Resident Evil 6 deserves more than a 7.9. All I want to know is, why can't you just round it to an 8? Why are you so lopsided where you have to give it a fucking 7.9? I'm not going to be like, oh my god, they gave it a 7.9. It doesn't deserve that. It deserves better. It just doesn't deserve a 7.9. Why couldn't you just give it an 8? And to everyone who thinks, oh, you give every game a 10. Why do you give every game a 10? Not all games are worth a 10. Here's the thing about it. I don't buy games just to buy games. If I'm going to record it, I'm going to review it. And I only buy games that I'm going to record. Like from now on, I'm pre-ordering games that I'm going to record. I'm not pre-ordering games that I'm going to record and then end up trading in. I have over there Dead Space 1, 2, and Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception Game of the Year Edition. I will be playing multiplayer on Game of the Year Edition just to play the new maps. That's why I bought it. And the new characters and everything. So I figured, why buy the stuff off the DLC off PlayStation Store when I can buy the game and have all the DLC? Because the game actually comes with all the DLC off the PlayStation Store, and it's worth $45. So if I bought the DLC off of PlayStation Store, and I had the regular edition that I got in October for going to the event, I would have been paying $105 in total. But I paid $60. Now actually no, I paid $40. And I paid $40 for the new version. Not this. I paid $40 for the new version, and it came with $45 worth of stuff. I'm going off track. Resident Evil 6, 10 in my book. Excellent game. Has great replayability. Has great story. Has, oh yeah, and the story is the C virus is going global, and the only people who can stop it is, there's like 5 people that can stop it. Well, 4. No, 6. Yeah, that's it, 6. But the main one that is Jake Mueller, which is Albert Wesker's son, he got the virus from, or he got the antibodies from his father, Albert Wesker, and so they have to use his blood to stop the C virus. That's basically the whole story in a nutshell. So like I said, on this whole 10 thing, I play games that I think are 10s. If it turns out not to be a 10, then I'm not gonna give it a 10. I don't do decimals, okay? I'm not gonna be like 7.5, 9.5. It's either gonna be a 9, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. I don't do decimals. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for your time and patience. And I guess I will see you guys later for more Resident Evil 6 or whatever else I can dish out. And hope you guys have a great day. And I will see you guys later.